We have our legendary guest, one of my favorite guests, somebody that I've become friends with, somebody that I've learned so much about, and he's done so many things in his life. And if we had him for president, we'd be in a hell of a lot better shape than we are now. Steve Laffey, former mayor of Cranston, Rhode Island, former candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Rhode Island back in 2006. Should have won that race, yeah. Steve. Should have won that race. And the book is behind us, Primary Mistake. Check it out on Amazon. And then the movie Fixing America, can check that out on Amazon. Steve, always a pleasure to
Great
talk
to be with
you and learn more about the world.
Great to be with you. Go ahead.
So, Steve, let's kick it around. I wanted to talk about Trump and China.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, Trump went over there. He took all these CEOs with him. And, we talk about a guy that came out and said he was supposed to be for the working class. He was supposed to be a man of the people. And he arrives in China, not with his advisors, which most presidents would just go with their advisors, and maybe some trade reps. He comes with his advisors, the trade reps, and a bunch of CEOs around the country with somebody that he is supposed to hate, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They hated each other. Now they're calling, he called Trump a pedophile, basically. Now they're buddy-buddy. They're running around together. I mean, what is going on here? This country is a joke now.
Well, our country's not a joke, but Donald Trump is a disaster when it comes to foreign relations. And one, why did he go? What's the purpose? There's no purpose. Trump thinks that these things, when he gets a big presentation, when the King of England, invites him over, or he thinks everything is, if you have a good relationship with the head of the country, everything's great. That's what he thinks. He'll always think that. He suffers from a giant narcissistic disease. The fact that he brought these people over, but the fact that they came is a disaster. For them, like, these people are complete sycophants. Did they go over to discuss human rights? Did anybody discuss
with the Uyghur issue, Steve?
Nothing happened. By the way, President Trump thinks that Jimmy Lay, or Lay I call him, but who's been imprisoned, unrightfully so, for years, and is going to die in prison, looks like, is totally fine because he wants the former head of the FBI, the guy that he fired, he wants him in prison too. He thinks it's fine. So the sycophants went with him. Of course, the guy who runs Boeing, the guy, former chairman of Apple, the guy I guess he's the chairman, still the CEO. But they give him millions of dollars for ballrooms and stuff like that. And for them, life is transactional. In other words, if we can keep Trump at bay with an extra lower tariff on Apple computers, I'll go on the trip. Does anybody think Tim Cook and Donald Trump are like buddies? Like there's something, they like each other? Of course they don't. But instead of putting principle over power, our country puts power over principle. So that's what Z sees when he gets there. Of course, nothing gets accomplished. It's supposed to be if it's just about trade, supposed to sell 500 Boeing planes, they sell 200, right? So at midnight, Z's buddies hit a button so that now the beef trade can go back for a while. All this is complete nonsense. It accomplished zero for America. But yes, what you should always lead with China is human rights. And then there's all this stuff about Taiwan again. Nothing really happened on Taiwan. The left people want to say it, from what I understand, is they're putting out that maybe he gave Taiwan away. That's not happening. He has to sell the stuff to Taiwan. Geographically, everybody understands that Taiwan is strategically extraordinarily important. Just take out a map if you don't know this, and look up and look down. Look up and look down, and you'll see countries that are very important to the United States of America, from Japan to Australia, right? So, and in the Koreas. So this is like crazy. It's a crazy meeting that's happening in the middle of a war with Iran. Now, other people were complaining that, if America is so powerful, why is he trying to get help from Z on Iran? Well, I don't think it's a problem if he gets help from Z. China's going to run out of oil in about a month. So if we keep the straits closed, China gets hurt worse than we do. We export 5 billion a day now. 5 million barrels of oil out of America being exported. Now, we're all hurting. Everybody's hurt. Middle-class people are hurting. But that wasn't the meeting about China. But Trump is just a giant embarrassment. The people with him are embarrassment. Just watching this stuff. How about when he says he's honored and respects the guy who puts people to death, the champion Z. Z must laugh his head off every day. Every day that Trump is president. It's the worst thing I've seen in a long time. The whole pageantry about it.
Well, I was told that even the senior advisors for the president, they're supposed to go off on the back of the plane.
Right.
And in the front of the plane, Trump comes off with Eric and Lara Trump, and Elon Musk is right behind, and all these CEOs are coming off. No president, Obama, Bush, Biden, ever did anything like that. No. And the thing, again, we said this in the last interview, we don't have to rehash it, but Biden, that was child's play.
Right.
Compared to Trump.
Yeah.
And, now we're saying, they're talking about in the Wall Street Journal, 2028, that it could be Lara Trump or Eric Trump. I mean, these people don't get enough. They're so crooked. Again, they make these people like Hillary, Biden, Obama look like God.
Well, they're going to get Trump eventually. Let me tell you, just this morning, they put out Trump's trades on stocks that someone does for him. I guess he didn't put it in a blind trust. They do like 40 trades a day. They buy Boeing and they buy NVIDIA. All this stuff should have been put in a blind trust when you're the president.
Right.
The whole thing is an embarrassment. Did you see the
cell phones? All these people bought the Trump cell phone, the Trump one.
Trump's made $1 billion off a phony coin. That's a whole different topic. But the thing with communist China is that the problem is Trump has accomplished nothing, zero, in 2 terms of being president. He had a trade deal with them. It was a bizarre trade deal. Remember the first term? That was like Trump thought that maybe we're like selling bananas. It was a trade agreement where we're going to get to sell them more oats or corn, and they didn't even buy the stuff. So Trump is a giant embarrassment on the international front. Just it has been. Friends with Putin. How's he doing? He's going to get executed fairly soon, it looks like. Like Trump will be dead. I mean, Putin will be dead. That, as I said correctly on your show, a year before your show, Ukraine won the war, Putin lost, and Putin will be gone. Right? So why is he friends with Putin? Putin's not a strong man. Putin's a weak man.
Well, you even look at Xi and Trump and their meeting, they're shaking hands, and you look at who's the real adult in the room.
No,
and
Z.
It looks like Xi.
Yes.
Yes. The room.
Yeah,
and Trump and the rest of the sicko fans look like they're just there to try to make money off deals.
And that by the way, that's all they're there for. That's all they're there for. That's all Trump's there for. They're not there for the United States of America. This is one of the biggest embarrassments. And I'm just going to tell you, the scene of everybody sitting around where Trump looks over and says he's so honored and wants to, respectful of, had the great deal, a great time, or whatever he says that's like, you're the greatest guy in the world stuff, right? It's so odd. I can't believe Marco Rubio sticks around. Like, he has some common sense. As I said back in January, he should have resigned,
Mm-hmm.
And he would have been okay. Now he's sucked in. He'll never be president.
Well, they're all sucked in.
Yeah, I think a lot of them will get indicted eventually.
I do. And
I just believe
even
that.
You go to the FDA, and there was the issue with Trump was getting all this money from Big Tobacco about these e-cigarettes, and the FDA commissioner, to his credit, Marty McCary, didn't want to push that because the kids were getting involved in all those e-cigarettes, and Trump got rid of them because he was getting money. And
I don't know that guy at all, the FDA guy, but just back one more time to communist China.
Sure.
Like, we're not projecting strength by bringing over some people just to do trade. We don't need that. We're the greatest trading nation in the world. We have the best and biggest firms in the world. We have the most powerful military in the world. No one should be worried about China moving on Taiwan. That's not happening anyway. We've been talking about this for 40 some odd years, right? Through every president that I've been alive. It's not happening. It's 100 miles across the water. It ain't happening. It's just a talking point. The whole thing is bizarre. Let's go to something else. The whole thing is so bizarre because I've got friends sending me photos like this. This is a beautiful photo. I'm like, beautiful photo. President Trump is an idiot on foreign stuff with communist China. All he had to do was slowly raise the tariffs on China, unite with allies, right? Right now, we're going to run out of aluminum pretty soon, folks. Like, where are you going to get your F-150 from?
You ain't getting it from Canada.
This is bizarre. That's right. They're selling it elsewhere. They're not going to sell it to us anymore. Like, this is really a problem. But I guess we're gonna be so short term about pageantry. I mean, he's heading into these midterms in that ballroom, which now can't be completed by private donors, right? That visual, if you're a Democratic leader, the visual from looking down is like the commercial. I can do the commercial now. This is what the White House looks like. This is what Trump made the nation look like. How do you win? How do you win in a D+5 or a? How does a Republican win in an R+5 congressional district? We're going to lose the Senate over this.
And even just to go back to, and I do want to move on to something else, but the reflection pool, all the money they're sinking into that, Trump got one of his cronies from Miami that did his pools over in Mar-a-Lago, and they're screwing up the pool. It looks like something out of like SeaWorld.
Well, I mean, Trump, his whole thing. Listen, I said he would win in 2015. People thought I was nuts. I told exactly what happened. I said he would lose in April of 2020. He lost. I told you he would win again on the show. He won again. I'm just telling you, the whole thing ends in bad, bad disaster because he himself is now an aging, malignant narcissist. So you can